And now we got to travel home and turn quick and try to play a really hard team Saturday. I know for fans, they'd probably say, oh, it was an exciting game. Yeah, to coach it, you're like, come on, man, let's go. We need that building hopping because we're going to need at least 10, 12 points out of that building so we can get out in a 2-point game. I'm just telling you. For what we just went through, and it's a quick turn, we need the fans. Be there, be loud, be with us, cheer us.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
It's hard to believe that tomorrow is going to be the final Saturday game in Bud Walton Arena for this Arkansas basketball team. I know we're still reveling in Darius Acuff and his performance on Wednesday night. You heard Cal after the game against Alabama imploring fans, encouraging fans, hey, we need you. We need you. And we talked about that dynamic yesterday, Tom. You got one team that had an emotional win Wednesday night in Missouri, and then the Arkansas Razorbacks, who came up just short against Alabama, have yet to lose back-to-back games this season. Well, that streak is going to be tested tomorrow against the Missouri Tigers.
Sure will. And your emotions and I think your mental strength is going to be tested as well tomorrow. And seeing how emotionally you put that double overtime loss behind you. Can you come out of the gate? I'm very interested in how everything goes in the first 4 minutes before your under 16 media and how this team. I'd love to see about a 10-0 run to start this game and show me they're in the right mindset coming off that loss.
A little surprised. Arkansas is a 10-point favorite in this game tomorrow. I thought it would be just like 4 or 5, being that how the game ended on Wednesday. But Vegas, Bet Saracen, they think highly of Arkansas heading into this matchup. Again, you've closed the season with the Missouri Tigers, the final regular season game of the year before SEC tournament in Nashville. Basketball news-wise, it's unfortunate. Carter Knox underwent a successful procedure to repair his left meniscus. There's no timetable on this. Tommy, this is at least a month typically coming back from that. Yeah. So I would not expect him
to
at least. For
old folks like us, it's a month. So, I think a meniscus you can be back quicker depending on how much cleanup was done, but I don't think this is a season ender for him.
Just athletes react differently, guys, and you mentioned the difference between someone like your age doing it and Carter, who's probably 19 years old.
They get round-the-clock rehab, round-the-clock medical care, round-the-clock attention in getting back quicker than the average.
I just feel bad for Carter because he's dealt with several injuries already this season. This was supposed to be his year coming back and really exploding onto the scene for the Razorbacks, and it's just kind of been a sophomore slump. Not according to plan. I think about the dynamics of him not being on the floor from stretching the floor. What I mean by that is this is a guy that was shooting 37% from three. I love TB. I love Billy. I love DJ. They're not three-point shooters. And I say that for TB, who was shooting the ball really well initially this season and has trailed off a lot in SEC play. So there's going to be a lot of teams that pack it in against you this season, kind of like we saw against Bama on Wednesday night. Darius was still able to get away with that and still make incredible play after incredible play. But you've got to have some guys step up from the three-point line outside of Malik Thomas, and hopefully those guys will be able to do that, not just in the 5 regular season games, but other games to come.
Yep, and we'll see where we're at. All right, it is a Fast Break Friday. It's brought to you by QC Kinetix. 40,000 people can't be wrong. That's how many people have visited the clinics around the country with QC Kinetix and found out that, hey, before they go under the knife for their hip, their knee, their back, their shoulder, let QC Kinetix use regenerative medicine, cutting-edge technology to relieve your joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Well, how far do I got to drive to do this? Well, they're right here in our backyard in Northwest Arkansas, and they will see you next week. 479-999-1234 is their number. 999-1234. We'll tell you more throughout the morning about QC Kinetix.
All right, so the other thing to think about in this game tomorrow, Darius is coming off playing 50 minutes, and he gutted out what I can only assume to be an ankle based on the way he got twisted up in the Auburn game in a boot. That's just a guess on my part. Cal didn't go into the injury. You can just kind of read between the lines on what happened on that. So he played 50 minutes. He's got this game tomorrow. Don't know the status of Isaiah Sealy. You know you're going to be down at least one man with Carter. hopefully Isaiah's back for this game. But when we get the SEC availability report tonight, Tommy, you're going to see Carter listed as out. I'm really curious to see what they list Isaiah as heading into this game tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And because you're obviously, we talked about this coming off the game at Alabama. If you had Knox and Sealy, you feel like you win that game because you got 10 more fouls and 20, 25 more minutes at least between two guys. So depth was tested. You kind of found out the limit of your depth the other night. And that's something we really didn't know because it really hadn't been tested in a game of that nature. So I think we found out what the limit of the depth is, and that's a good piece of information moving forward. So you need, obviously you need Sealy if he's available.
And I don't know if Carlo Wetzwa or Zoffich is going to play tomorrow. At least they got a little bit of action. I think Carlo Wetzwa played like 2-something minutes, and Zoffich played a little over 1. But at least you got him into the game in an actual hostile SEC experience, which it won't be as much tomorrow when you're inside the friendly confines of Bud Walton Arena, but still going up against a good team that Tommy's right behind you in the SEC standings, sitting at 8-5. And they, again, like I said, you close the season with them. So you really need to get this game, not just for an 0-2 week to split it 1-1, but you'd hate to head in Columbia the last game of the year with them already having a win over you on the road.
Oh, this is a must-win. There's no other way to frame this game against Missouri. You cannot lose this game. It's a must-win game. Where the league standings are at, things you talked about with the tiebreaker scenarios down the road, potentially. But 0-2 weeks are killers this time of the year. So if you want to finish in that top 4, you want to have that double bye, you want to get off the 6 or 7 seed line down the road, this is a must-win. And you can't afford to lose games at home this time of the year against an opponent who's not a ranked team, not inside the top 25 in the net. This is a must-win game at home tomorrow.
As of now, the 3 teams that you get at home the rest of the way are all 8-5. Texas A&M, Texas, and Missouri. So while they're not going to be quad 1 wins, it doesn't all of them look like they're still quality teams that are right neck and neck with you in the SEC. All right, we got our Fence Man Friday picks coming up. Dave Van Horn spoke with the media yesterday about the series home opener against Baum Walker Stadium against Xavier. John Rothstein had some thoughts on Darius Acuff and Arkansas as far as the matchup goes with them in the NCAA tournament. And Tommy, how about Chicago and the Bears heading to North Indiana? I mean, it's one thing to move from Kansas City, Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas, but Bears are going to be in North Indiana. It's pretty wild.
That region up there is all compact, and I'm not as familiar with that geography as the Kansas City example you give, but that whole area, you're either a Packers fan or you're a Bears fan. So I don't think the people in Chicago are probably going to be real happy about it, and the people near Soldier Field, but it's hard anymore to get these stadiums built and financed, and it's competitive. And if someone in your region's willing to put the tax breaks and the incentives and the finances to help you get that going, man, that's very tempting for ownership. And we've seen it done when Jerry moved to Arlington. That didn't come without a little bit of, blowback, even though it was in the Metroplex.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Crossing that state line was a big deal for the Chiefs, and it's going to be a big deal for the Bears as well.
Well, think about the Cowboys, Frisco, where the star is, and in Arlington. I know, like you said, it's the metro of Dallas, but neither of their 2 biggest facilities are actually within the city limits of Dallas. So, yeah, that's definitely
when you look at it on an actual map, the city of Dallas isn't as big as some of the other, surround. I remember going to Dallas 30 years ago, and McKinney, Texas, a little just greasy spot in the road. And, now McKinney, Texas is a huge place. So, and they're going to, and listen, Sherman was a distant outpost. Now Sherman's going to be where the Metroplex begins 15 years from now. So it's kind of already that way now. So, that's what happens as you expand, and your airport's great, and your roads are good, and your infrastructure's good. But that doesn't have anything to do with the Chicago deal. But, all these owners are seeking better stadiums that can create more revenue for their franchise. And that's what they're all looking for. That's what they're getting because people are willing somewhere within their local market to to put a deal on the table you can't refuse.
As far as interview goes, we're going to have Scotty Thurman on at 10 a.m. this morning. Darius Aiko broke his freshman record earlier this week, and I know Scotty had a tremendous freshman season. We'll ask him about what he's seen from Darius and also that memorable Missouri game way back in 1993. And we'll also have Lane Whitman talk some horses coming up at 10:45. You mentioned being old. We didn't get to this yesterday because we had so much conversation, so much reaction from Arkansas's 2-point double OT loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide. But I was reading this study on 40 ways that you identify signs of aging, and I think we can have some fun with that this morning.
Getting sloppy and getting old.
The knee hurts, the back hurts, getting old. Look, turning 30 is not that big a deal.
Oh, really? Is that how you felt when you turned 30?
Why? It's the deal. Let the others go home, not me.
Old age? He said it was old age.
Getting old sucks.
Getting old sucks. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
I'm tired. I'm aging.
All right, so what is a sign that you would identify yourself getting old? Brandon, the fence man's here. He can jump in on this.
Yeah.
Tommy, where do you identify? What's a sign that you identify of
When
getting
you
old?
can't read the small text on your phone anymore, and you had to start using reading glasses, which progresses 3 or 4 years down the road into prescription glasses. That was my first, in my early 40s. Man, I'm getting old. I can't see the way I once did, and I blame the phones for ruining that vision, but which was once a impeccable 2020, but it is no longer.
B also points to the glasses, but
Yes.
a little different scenario. Said looking for your glasses when they're on your forehead.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a sign of getting
I've
old.
looked for my phone when it's been in my hand before too. So
Brandon, what is the sign of getting old that you've noticed about yourself?
The back, man. Just the lower back, getting up in the morning.
the pains don't go away as fast.
No,
You
they
get in
don't.
your 40s.
You don't recover
You're in your
fast.
20s, your 30s. You recover from everything quickly. You tweak something. My body after this basketball, it's just all beat up right now. And it just doesn't recover. It's kind of like a basketball that's losing air.
Yep.
You bounce it, lose a little bit of air, it doesn't come up as high. You bounce it again, it doesn't come back up as high. That's what happens every time you bounce that ball and something happens, and you roll an ankle or you tweak a knee or you have a meniscus cleaned up. The ball just doesn't hit the hardwood and come back up quite as high the next time. That's the essence of aging.
That is the third highest identifier. Experiencing persistent aches as high as 34%.
Yep.
39 is quiet drinks over nights out. Second place is caring less about fashion trends. The only time I really care about fashion trends is when going to a wedding or a golf course. I could care less what I look like outside of that. Naturally waking up at 6 a.m. Even on vacation,
Why so late?
even on weekends, I find myself
You get bed sore staying in bed that long.
I can't. I didn't understand why my parents were such early risers when I was in middle school and high school, and now I understand. I also understand why people are tired all the time. They don't want to go out late because you just don't feel the same than you used to.
The older you get, you come to the realization there is no great prize for staying up till midnight. In fact, the older you get, you understand it's a penalty. So, that's part of the thing is when you're young, you think staying out till 3 a.m, seeing the sun rise there's some kind of reward for that. But the older you get, you realize, hey, I'll go to bed at 9 and get that extra hour or two of sleep, and that's the great reward of age.
It's worth it. It is definitely worth it in that regard. But usually I wouldn't entertain these, but as I've hit my 30s, there's certain things that I just don't do anymore. And I actually found this article fascinating, different things that you feel like is a sign of aging throughout your life.
All right, that's the opening drive this morning. That's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587-3300 is their number for sand, rock, asphalt, or any of your aggregates. And ready mixed concrete, APAC is the #1 source in Northwest Arkansas. APAC and Standard Materials Group, and they got the construction consultant services to help you keep your job right on track as well. 479-587-3300. for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Ryan in Prairie Grove texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline said he'd rather break his leg than stay up all night. I don't know if I'd go to that extreme, Ryan, but I get where you're coming from in that regard.
Well, and just like I was talking about with the bouncing ball, staying up all night's not a one-day recovery the older you get. I mean, it'll wreck the rest of your week to stay up till midnight. So, I mean, it's a 3-day recovery to get enough sleep to come back from that.
I get frustrated when I do try and take a nap and lessen the load on weekends, and then I can't fall asleep at night, which it's just part of the sleep schedule and everything else. So I definitely feel you on that. All right, you guys ready to pick some games? We got baseball. We got big-time college basketball, including this game in Bud Walton tomorrow. But first, let's take a look back and see how we did last week. They're minus 11.5.
11.5.
So I'm going to take Florida in this.
Give me Florida.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Florida in the points on that.
A&M at Vanderbilt. I'm going to take Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt -2. Give me Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think give me Vandy too.
Texas at Missouri. I'll take the Tigers in this one.
Yeah, I think Missouri, the home team, is going to take it.
I'll take Texas.
On who scores the first basket for the Razorbacks against the Tigers.
So I'm going to go with Pringle.
I think I'll go with Malik Thomas.
I'm going to say Billy.
7.5. I will take the Razorbacks.
I just think the Razorbacks are going to overwhelm them tomorrow night.
Yep, a little payback at Bud Walton tomorrow.
I wish I would have bet the Billy Richmond because that was what, plus 750.
Yeah,
it was something high, and as I watched him make that little runner layup or whatever it was, I was like, well, I wish I would have bet on that, but that's what I get for not trusting my gut. All right, let's start in Oxford, Mississippi, where the Florida Gators take on Ole Miss. Tommy, I don't know if Stephen A. Smith is staying through in the weekend. Yeah, taking Florida on that one.
What's the point spread? I guess I should
12.5.
Florida.
Ole Miss is a 12.5 point underdog.
That front line's just nasty. I'll take Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to say despite Ole Miss being undersized, they at least make this game somewhat close, maybe around single digits. So I'm going to take Ole Miss to cover, but Florida definitely wins this basketball game.
I think the same thing. Florida wins. Ole Miss is going to cover the points. Be under 10.
Rivalry game in Nashville. Tennessee Volunteers taking on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a 3.5 point favorite at home after a tough loss on Wednesday night to Missouri.
In Nashville, I'll take the home team and the Commodores.
I'm also going to take Vanderbilt. You beat both these squads. It really doesn't matter who wins this game. I guess Tennessee's tied with you, so maybe you want Vandy to win. So I'll take Vandy.
Yeah, I'll take Vandy in the points.
Auburn trying to get rid of this 5-game losing streak under Stephen Pearl. They host the Kentucky Wildcats. They're actually favored against the Wildcats. 2.5 point favorites at home in the Jungle.
Kentucky in the points. I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't like picking Auburn, but I'm going to just because I don't see them losing 6 straight. It's been rough for them lately. I think they find a way to win this game tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kentucky. Kentucky's going to win it.
Arkansas taking on Xavier this weekend. First game here at 3 o'clock, first pitch, right here on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations. Tommy, how many games does Arkansas win this weekend?
2.
I've also got them taking the series with 2 games. I don't think they get the sweep. Xavier's actually pretty good. They beat East Carolina recently, so I'm going to take the Arkansas Razorbacks to win 2 of 3, Brandon.
Let's go for the sweep then.
There you go.
All right, Missouri taking on Arkansas tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Also in Bud Walton Arena, we'll have Chuck and Z courtside starting at 2:30. Tom, is that point spread too big?
What'd you say the number?
10.
I'll take Missouri in 10 points.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Arkansas to win, but I think Missouri covers. Razorbacks have yet to lose a game games back-to-back all season long. I think that trend continues, but I do think it's going to be a tough, hard-fought battle tomorrow in Bud Walton.
Woo pig and cover the points.
All right. Like the thinking there. So those are our Fence Man Friday picks brought to you by the Fence Man, 782-3936. Call Brandon. Hey, it's a little bit chillier today. Makes for a perfect day to get outside and look at that fence and get going. Springtime's just around the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. Yeah, and we got a home show starting today.
That's right. I meant to mention that because I know y'all are going to be there.
Yes, sir. We got a booth set up there.
Starts at noon.
Yes, sir. I'll be there tomorrow and Sunday. You guys can come by and see me. And we actually have a discount going on right now for the home show. It's 10% up to $500. And then we also are doing giveaways at the home show. So get an appointment in and get those giveaways.
Fort Smith Convention Center next 3 days. Starts at noon today. Noon to 6 today, 10 to 5 tomorrow, and then Sunday in the afternoon. So.
Yeah, it's the same time on both of those days on the weekend.
All right, so 782-3936 if you get to the home show. Look for Brandon and the entire Fence Man team, and
yes,
they can show you everything right there. I'm sure you'll have
we got
set up
setups,
with everything you've got right there.
pieces of different material, all the stock, gate access, everything.
What else you giving away? What free stuff do you have? You
Well,
like
we got
koozies,
some backpack
t-shirt?
coolers. We got some tool sets. We got a grill. I think there's one of those in there.
Grill.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there.
Load it up.
Yeah, Boss Man hooked it up.
Yeah, there we go. All right, 782-3936 this weekend at the Fort Smith Home Show as well. Brandon, great to see you, and
Yes,
we'll do it
sir.
again next Friday.
Yes, sir. I'll see you then.
All right, the fence man, he ain't afraid of no work.
All right, Hog Update coming up. More from Dave Van Horn, his thoughts on this week in this matchup. Have you seen the Armadillo video yet, Kami? With
No.
Cam Kojal?
No?
Pretty funny. Would encourage you to watch it if you haven't. DVH encourage caution from now on when they see it's Armadillo. But there's been, I'll let DVH share this coming up. There's been a number of different animals that have snuck into Baum Walker, whether it's in the dugout or on the field itself. I think you'd be surprised, and he goes into that a little bit, and we'll share that with you coming up in just a bit.
Hey, if you're going to do some fishing this weekend, start with lurenet.com as the place that you look for all your favorite brands and lures that you need to get on the water the next time you're out. That's lurenet.com, Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, all there with exclusive deals on their site you won't find anywhere else, or find Arkansas's own Pradco brands that are made in Arkansas at Bass Pro Shops, Academy, Dick's, Walmart, and your favorite local tackle stores everywhere. Go to lurenet.com, get free shipping on every order over $35.
Really hope the basketball team gets off to a hot start tomorrow. You brought it up earlier, just to kind of shake off what happened on Wednesday and get the crowd into it early. And again, it's the final Saturday game. I can't believe we're saying that this early into the season, but the last time you get to play at home on the weekend inside of Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, and if you bought tickets and you hadn't been to enough games, this would be a good one to go to. 3 o'clock, you can make a day trip out of it, up and back in the same day from pretty much anywhere in our state. So be a good day. Looks like the weather's going to be nice. So, yeah, get to Bud Walton tomorrow.
All right, we're going to hear more from John Rothstein as well, his thoughts on what Darius Acuff has done so far this season, plus kind of what he wants for Arkansas in the NCAA tournament. Stay with us here on a Fast Break Friday.
Fast Break Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix in Bentonville. Get back to living your life.
Steal by the Razorbacks, knocks to the other end, and a throwdown.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Right.
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
InstaWeb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
I said, you know those things can give you leprosy? He goes, like leprosy, like in the Bible? I said, yeah, like in the Bible. And I said, don't be messing with those things. They're nasty.
This is the Morning Rush.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. Wear your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Being a father doesn't come with a manual, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Invest Fatherhood is a program of Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and our Man Up classes bring dads together. This is a network of fathers building stronger families one step at a time, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you're ready to be the dad your kids need, man up, step in, and join the brotherhood. Invest Fatherhood, a Heart to Heart program. Strong fathers change everything. Call Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center at 479-452-2260 to sign up today.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Winter's here, and as the temperature drops, energy use can go up. That means so can your bills. At Arkansas Oklahoma Gas, we know managing energy costs isn't always simple, and we're here to help. We offer practical energy-saving tips, convenient payment options, and connections to assistance programs to help you through the season. Whether you're planning ahead or looking for extra support, our team is ready to help you explore your options. Learn more at aogc.com/winter.
Wyatt McIntyre sincerely asks for your vote to be Sebastian County Sheriff. Wyatt is Christian, Republican, and pro-Second Amendment. Wyatt believes in faith, family, and communication to keep people safe. 24 years of law enforcement experience, multiple leadership positions at the Sheriff's Office, currently Police Chief of Mansfield, Arkansas, has lived in Sebastian County over half his life. Early voting begins February 17th until Election Day on March 3rd.
This is Wyatt McIntyre, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Wyatt McIntyre.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino Tite.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Well, Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
We probably ought to put a game camera out there to see what we can see. Who knows what's running around out there? Maybe stuff we don't want. But we've had snakes in the padding. You know, non-poisonous snakes. It was a garden snake, real colorful looking thing. A couple years ago, we're peeling off pads, watching them. There he come. Half the guys loved it. Some of them didn't like it. We've had them in the dugout. We've had wild cats in the dugout. I got a trap from a friend of mine. That's a veterinarian told me if I trapped it, she would fix it, so to speak. Then I let it go again. I brought it back out. That was many years ago. And we've had the snapping turtle. That was interesting. That was one I handled with a couple of the guys. We got it in a big old bucket.
I watched that video this morning. It was pretty funny.
Well,
Possum, too. Grant Harmon grabbing that thing by its neck and dragging it out of the stadium.
Yeah. Good way to get rabies.
I know. He got asked about that several times. I think he's. I saw him 2 weeks ago, so I think he's okay.
The only good snake is a dead snake. So
I'm with you on that.
And I know that there's ones that eat mice and varmints and eat other snakes and
snakes.
Whatever. I got no life for even the good snakes.
I didn't know snapping turtles hissed.
Yeah, that snapping turtle was hissing at DVH when it was going. That was popping. That would be the other thing. We were talking about Steel Eves jumping in Lake Norm earlier this week. And not only would I be scared of snakes, I'd be scared of a snapping turtle pecking at something I don't want pecked at. So there's a variety of reasons that I would not be jumping in like he did. But either way, it made for a funny video, made for a funny reaction, and now Camden Kojal knows not to pick up armadillos from now on.
Well, and I don't know what would lead you to believe you would want to pick an armadillo up.
I'd grab like a broom or something to shade it, or just try to get it out of the way. I'm like you. I would not be
410 shotgun.
Yeah. I don't know if the guys have one of those lying around the dugout, but that's definitely one way to look at it. Baseball today, 2:30 airtime with Phil and Bubba on most of these stations. Also on the SEC Network Plus. First home series here in Baum-Walker Stadium against the Xavier Musketeers. And you got basketball tomorrow, too, so you got a good weekend filled with plus it's Razorback Invitational for softball, so you got a good weekend on the Hill.
Yep, lots going on. And for February standards, I know yesterday was like 80 degrees. Now, I mean, it was pretty chilly this morning by comparison, but for February weather, pretty good.
You can't complain.
No,
about
50-ish degree highs. Yeah, that's pretty good for February.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Basketball, like I mentioned, tomorrow, 3 o'clock on ESPN and here on all of these ESPN Arkansas stations, plus hitthatline.com. The big notable news from yesterday is Razorback basketball putting out the Carter Knox having a successful procedure on his left meniscus. No timetable on that. We'll see about Isaiah Seeley's status later on tonight in the SEC.
So this isn't a secret suspension? That's what we've been told on the message boards, that he was not hurt. He was actually suspended, right?
No.
That's they don't have surgery for a secret suspension. So I think we can put those rumors to bed at last. All right, that's your Hog Update. It's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith and across the border in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Jackie's licensed in both states and can help you not only with family law matters, but over 13 years of experience in car wrecks, slip and falls, dog bite cases. She can get you that insurance check or wreck check if you've been involved in an accident. They also understand that, hey, not everybody's got a $5,000 retainer laying around. So if you're getting asked for more money than you can afford at an attorney, come see Jackie. They've got easy-to-understand flat fees, low down payments, and payment plans that work for you. That's mocklegalsolutions.com, M-O-C-K, mocklegalsolutions.com, or call 479-769-1505.
All right, we asked the question earlier in the show, what are some things that make you feel old? John texting in saying, good morning, guys. My grandpa told me one time he knew he was old because he had to pee every morning at 5. Only problem, he didn't wake up till 6. Take care, John. We bring in our friend Larry Rath with Rath Auto Resources. Larry, what are some things that make you feel old? Like John here telling a story about his grandpa.
Yeah, I feel old a lot of the time. I mean, there's a lot of things. Putting my boots on, that makes me feel old. So it doesn't take much. Absolutely.
Lace them up, man. Lace them up. Well, I know you're laced up for a good rest of the month. Rath Auto Resources stocked pre-owned inventory of those road-ready certified vehicles with the warranty as well. I know you've got a surplus of them right now.
We do. We've been stocking up all winter. We've got a big inventory right on time for folks to get the most out of their tax refund. You got to get the most car for your money, folks, and you want to make sure that you're looking at a great car that's been hand-picked, reconditioned, and covered by a warranty, and you're only going to get that at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale with road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles. And, we produce these cars. We sell them all the time. We've been voted the best used car in the River Valley the last couple of years in a row, and it really is the best used car your money can buy. And we are stocked with them, cars and trucks and SUVs, all the different price ranges. We've got cars and trucks for every lifestyle, every need. We're bound to have something that's just right for you. We'd love a chance to earn your business this weekend at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. The new Mitsubishis, exciting stuff going on there. 0 for 72 months on the Outlander, our most popular model. If you haven't checked out the Outlander, put that on your list. Come in for a test drive before you buy anything else. You're going to save some money, get a better car, more equipment, more safety, more tech, more warranty with that new Mitsubishi and 0% for 72 right now. So lots of great things going on. Come and see us this weekend, folks. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
And don't forget that Mighty Key Car Care Center either at both locations, getting you from point A to point B. Larry, have yourself a great rest of the weekend, brother.
Hey, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. And folks, come and see us.
Larry's wearing work boots. He's wearing.
Oh, he wears boots. I mean, when I'm around Larry, it's boots every time. Yeah.
Just the he's got a white collar shirt and jeans on.
Yeah.
And the boots. So
That's the look.
Working man and a blue collar or in a white collar man as well. All right, when we return, Morning Rush Daily Question. We continue on a fast break, really a fastball Friday too, with the Xavier Musketeers in town next.
It's Fast Break Friday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Ahead to Billy Richmond for a one-hand slam.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one
Tommy
Razorback
Kraft here.
store that's
When it
owned by
came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort. Well, the game might be over, but the night usually isn't. You're still hanging out, still scrolling, still looking for something fun to do. That's usually where I end up on my bookie. I'll go from sports straight into the casino. Same account, same balance. What I like is it never feels quiet. There's always something happening. Cash drops, tournaments, live dealers. So you're not just playing, you're part of the action. Head to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS, and you'll get a 300% deposit match up to $750, which gives you plenty to play with. Game night, late night, everything in between. MyBookie's always on.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Is $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Or online at harryrobinson.com.
Don't miss Ruskin and Zach live at Sutherland's in Fort Smith on Monday, February 23rd from 2 to 6 p.m. If you've been dreaming about a new workshop, horse barn, or extra storage space, let Sutherland's make that a reality. Go to Sutherland's.com or stop by your local store today for a free estimate. Ruskin and Zach live at Sutherland's in Fort Smith at 1801 South 0 Street on Monday, February 23rd from 2 to 6 p.m. Sutherland's, no matter the project, they're here to help because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
I was perusing the extensive note package for the Morning Rush that came from the research department up on the third floor. There's a lot that goes into getting ready for today's show, and it is National Tartar Sauce Day, I noticed. And for those that, observing Lent and maybe on Friday you're looking for a fish option, tartar sauce or cocktail sauce?
This one's not even close. It's cocktail sauce.
Yeah, with shrimp.
It depends on what you're having. If you're having catfish, I'm not having cocktail sauce.
I'll take cocktail sauce over
No.
tartar sauce with
I'd rather
any
have ketchup over
seafood.
Cocktail with fish.
Tartar. Hang on. Say that again.
I would rather have cocktail over tartar with any seafood.
Even with catfish?
Mm-hmm. I like spice. I like horseradish.
Okay.
I'll take it.
With shrimp, it's obviously cocktail sauce.
And everyone knows my affinity for ketchup.
So. But to me, I'm 50-50 on this. But if I'm going to Art's Barbecue today and going to have a catfish platter on a Catfish Friday, and I know a lot of you will be looking for a fish option today, I'm going tartar sauce every time. Tartar sauce goes well not only with the catfish, but with the hush puppies that come with it. So, I do enjoy a good cocktail sauce with shrimp and many other things. I'll use cocktail sauce if I got a good one. In place of ketchup sometimes.
Yeah.
My uncle brought me a St. Elmo's jar of cocktail sauce from Indy the other day. That stuff, I love that stuff.
You haven't used it though yet, right?
Oh no, I've used it. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking you said you hadn't used it the other day. Yeah. Cocktail sauce to me, I just like the spice and stuff. Tartar sauce, it depends on where you get it. Some can be good, some can be bad. But if it
doesn't have enough horseradish, it's not for me. Mm-hmm. It needs a little.
HR guy is with me. He says his devout Catholic, or against me, I'm sorry, a devout Catholic. He's tartar sauce all day, as is Justin in Hot Springs. Ryan says that Louisiana hot sauce makes a brand of tartar sauce that is dynamite. So maybe you try it.
Yeah, I've tried that. It's still not pungent enough. Extra horseradish in it. So.
Well, he's saying tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce from Louisiana. I don't think I've tried that.
Yes, you need to.
All right. That's your Morning Rush Daily Question. Tartar sauce or cocktail on National Tartar Sauce Day. That's appropriate for today, the first Friday of Lent. It's brought to you by Cart Path Social.
Yeah, number one place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas. It's going to get a little bit colder here in Northwest Arkansas this weekend. And if you're planning, maybe you're in charge of planning the kid's birthday party, or maybe it's a corporate event that you've been put to run and figure out, well, you can check out Cart Pass Social, click on the events tab. They've got over 10 TVs, large space, 4 different bays that you can play golf on, over 1,000 different golf courses. It's BYOB. Check them out, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Give Nate Garahan and Christian Olsen a call, 479-487-3622, or go to cartpasssocial.com. We brought up Chicago Bears, Hammond, Indiana. What might happen?
I can't tell you what's going to happen in the end here. I've been a Bears fan for a very long time, and I've wanted them to perform, stay, play here, continue to believe that that's the best thing for them.
So is this Chicago's fault? do you give credit to Indiana for now 2 NFL teams? Like, what do you do in this situation? Where do you
well,
go?
I don't think you're going to become a Packers fan overnight because of this. Just like I don't think Chiefs fans are going to leave their Chiefs fandom at the doorstep either when they move across the Kansas border.
Mm-hmm.
So people in Dallas, and I know Arlington and Dallas are, two different things. They were actually in Irving all along and never were in Dallas where Texas Stadium was, but same Metroplex. That Chicagoland area is so big.
It is.
It is massive.
I will say, have you been to Soldier Field? Have you seen where it sits?
No, I'm going in August, though, for a concert.
Of any NFL venue that I have been to, aesthetically, now I haven't been to Lambeau. I'd like to see Green Bay and experience that in Green Bay, Wisconsin. But it sits on the water. It's just an incredible appearing venue. That's old, obviously, but just where it sits in the city, it's pretty cool. But yeah, now it sounds like Indiana might get 2 NFL teams, and we're going to see how this shakes out after they unanimously voted to try and get the Bears there.
Well, all these owners are looking for stadiums that the public or others will help finance. They're looking for more premium seating. They're looking for updated. And Soldier Field just went under a renovation not that many years ago. But, premium seats and the ability to have other events. I'm going to Soldier Field for taking my family to a concert they wanted to go to.
What concert? You didn't?
Foo Fighters.
Nice.
Couldn't name you one song, but we're going to go and we're going to have a great time. So I'll get to see Soldier Field for myself. And these things have to be planned out over the better part of a decade. It's not like it's not like you buy a home, sell your home, and move over a weekend. Because it's going to be 2031 or 2032 before the Chiefs move. I don't know what the timeline is for the Bears, but you don't do that just as an overnight thing. Election Day is coming up, March the 3rd, and I know early voting has started now. Brian King joins us now. Brian, good morning. You're running for re-election for State Senate in North Central Arkansas. It's good to have you back. You've got a background in sports. You were one of those in our state legislature that fought to equalize sports and make the rules the same for public and private schools.
Yeah, I think that, in other states, I think Alabama recently made where private schools, played in their own playoffs. And, that's one of the ideas I think that we're going to have to get to is that we're going to have to say, at least in the playoffs, we're going to have public school playoffs and private schools, and then have an overall championship game, based on what they think the classification is. I think we're moving that way. I think that that's something that we're going to have to look at doing at some point in time.
You've been a state senator. You've been an election commissioner in the past. You're currently a rancher and a poultry farmer. You understand the needs of those in North Central Arkansas, and it's District 5, right? And what they need from their state government.
Yeah, and it's District 28, and
20, I'm
it's
sorry.
changed from District 5, yeah.
Okay.
But, the one thing I've done is, me and my brother did the football for the Radio Tigers for years, and I can actually remember, saying, hey, who's this Gus Malzahn guy with Shiloh Christian coming over here years ago? So I go back even that far. I did the PA at the home basketball games at Green Forest. Great job. You just start out in a small rural school doing announcing the kids in 7th, 8th grade, and they're graduating. It was one of the most rewarding experiences that I had. So I've seen a lot and been around, sports. I also umpired. I played college baseball at North Ark. So, I've done a lot. And like I said, the demographic is especially changing from when I graduated to today, that we're going to have to look at, these ever-changing rules and laws and see how it's going to impact the landscape. And the main thing is making fair competition. We're having – what's frustrating is when you're an announcer and you're, the end of the first quarter is 28-0. That really doesn't do a good service to either school when you're having such unfair competition and you're throwing them together. And, I think it's about fair competition, and we're going to have to look at that in the legislature as far as addressing it and making changes.
All right, if people want to find out more about your campaign and maybe your platform, give us the website and places they can go to read more.
Yeah, it's Elect Brian King, or you can go to Facebook and look up Brian King in Green Forest or Brian King Report. You can find me on the web.
All right, Brian, have a great weekend, and Election Day will be here soon. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, Brian King for State Senate. This political ad paid for by Brian King for State Senate.
All right, big game tomorrow in Bud Walton Arena, Arkansas, Missouri. Razorbacks kind of trying to continue the streak of not having consecutive back-to-back losses. Going to need a big one for Darius Acuff, who John Rothstein's been really, really high on.
But the fascinating storyline to follow is all the byproduct of one player, Darius Acuff, who again is making a real push towards being a first-team All-American.
Not just that, SEC Player of the Year. Tommy and I commented Thursday he might have won the stinking award, assuming things play out like we think to here in these next 5 games. And you're still very much in contention for a double-week bye in the SEC tournament. Missouri's got a good squad. Dennis Gates coming in here, sitting right behind you at 8-5. I just wonder how much of a toll after playing 50 minutes does that have on him tomorrow?
Well, we've been talking about aging throughout the show. Darius Acuff doesn't have an aging problem. I think with the training staff and the rehab and all the things that they have, cold tubs and all those things at their disposal, I don't think Darius Acuff's going to have any problem getting out there and giving you 35 to 40 good minutes against Missouri. I'll go ahead and say it. I'll rip the band. This is a must-win for the Hogs for the reasons we've talked about earlier, for the fact that you've got a logjam of 4 and 5 loss teams, for the fact that you can't have an 0-2 week at this point. There's a lot of reasons. Ty, this is a must-win game tomorrow at home for the Razorbacks against the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, and again, you play them later on this season to close out the year regular season-wise, and you don't want them to have that on you heading into that game. It's at least if you're neck and neck with them heading that final game and you won, that's okay. But yeah, this is a setup that I would agree with you wholeheartedly on. There's some good games tomorrow, like Tennessee and Vanderbilt. That should be a good game. Texas at Georgia. The Longhorns have actually won 5 straight, and you get them, I believe, next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday, or excuse me, A&M's next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday after that is the Texas Longhorns. So there's no, I mean, when you look at your remaining schedule, Missouri 8-5, A&M 8-5, Florida best team in the league. Texas, 8-5. Missouri, they're not going to be 8-5 at that point, but all teams above 500 in conference, this stretch is as tough as any that they played this season, including if you want to go all the way back to some non-conference games.
Yeah, so I think, good weekend to watch SEC basketball, good weekend. Let's see, baseball today at 3. Basketball and baseball make it tough to do both tomorrow with baseball at 2. But, then Sunday at noon, I think a lot of people will come and make a weekend of it in Fayetteville. But if not, you've got a lot of great options on the tube, and you got 2 big national games of consequence that are out of conference around the country with Duke and Michigan playing. Who's Arizona play? Houston, right? So, I mean, those are 2 massive games. And how does Michigan and Duke hook up at this point? A Big Ten and an ACC school at this point in the calendar. I don't know, but that's some TV joy this weekend. And 4 teams that really could be all 1 seeds. You could be seeing, a preview of the Final 4 there this weekend.
I didn't think about it. That's a great point.
Hey, it's Fast Break Friday, brought to you by QC Kinetix, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They've helped me with my shoulder. I had pain in my left shoulder a few years ago after picking up an item, just a suitcase, the wrong way, and it never got better. And I didn't want to have surgery and be down 8 or 10 weeks, miss golf, miss the things I love doing, and they helped me with in-office care with regenerative medicine that's made my shoulder feel brand new. The truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetix, right here in Northwest Arkansas, uses safe, natural treatments backed by real science. 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix.
The Rustin Rifle joins us on the other side.
Crappie anglers, when it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
InstaWeb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem, the Crawfish Festival that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salasol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the middle 70s with winds gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour. Clear skies, a much colder go of it tonight, mid-30s north, mid-40s south, and then sunny and cool on Friday with a high in the upper 50s to mid-60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush. This hour of the Morning Rush is powered by Busch Light. Busch Light, the coldest and smoothest light lager there is.
And now we got to travel home and turn quick and try to play a really hard team Saturday. I know for fans, they'd probably say, oh, it was an exciting game. Yeah, to coach it, you're like, come on, man, let's go. We need that building hopping because we're going to need at least 10, 12 points out of that building so we can get out in a 2-point game. I'm just telling you. What we just went through, and it's a quick turn, we need the fans. Be there, be loud, be with us. You know, cheer us.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Here, John Calaberry there after the Alabama loss Wednesday night, imploring, encouraging, asking fans to give them every bit of motivation and emotional support heading into the final Saturday home game tomorrow against the Missouri Tigers. Way back when, 30-plus years ago, you took on a Missouri team that went to, the Elite Eight that year, Coach Stewart, and you ran them out of the gym.
Won the Big Eight that year. Good team.
Yeah, one of the guys that was on that team, national champion, national runner-up, Scotty Thurman's going to join us momentarily, but that was as big of a blowout game against a really good opponent. And again, first television game ever inside of Bud Walton Arena.
All right, we'll talk to the Ruston Rifle coming up in just a minute. It's a Fast Break Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix. 40,000 people. Can't be wrong. That's how many people have used QC Kinetix to get joint relief, pain relief, without surgery, without drugs, and without downtime. It's all natural, safe treatments used and backed by real science. Treatments that activate your body's natural healing power, safe, natural, non-surgical, and zero downtime. And this is critical. The sooner you start, the faster inflammation will ease, the sooner you'll slow down osteoarthritis progression, and that's all the things that are causing the pain in your joints. 479-999-1234, 999-1234 for QC Kinetix.
And it's crazy because Corner said something to me after the game. He's like, are you not happy? Like, you don't seem happy. I'm like, I'm happy. But to me, it was more of a situation where I felt like we did what we were supposed to do. You know, I didn't really think that we had shocked the world, so to speak. I really felt like we were prepared for that moment. And we went out and seized when the opportunity presented itself.
Western Louisiana. He's good inside. Look at that spin move on the scoop by Thurman. Scotty Thurman. Oh, that's pretty move. Thurman. That is brilliant. Thurman. Answers for Arkansas. You better find Thurman more quickly than that. Here's Thurman. Thurman drives baseline. Oh, what a duck under by Scotty Thurman. Down one. Thurman. Two-pointer. Looking inside, nothing there. Spits it out to McDaniel. Exactly 1 minute to play. Shot clock's at 10. Back to the baseline. Spits it out to Stewart. Right side, Thurman. He's open for three. Good! Scotty Thurman with his third three. Arkansas leads it by 3 with 48 seconds to go. Here comes Scotty.
All right, let's welcome in a Razorback legend via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, the greatest shot in the history of Razorback basketball that helped beat the Duke Blue Devils in Charlotte, North Carolina back in 1994. Scotty Thurman joins us. Scotty, good morning. Thanks for making some time for us here on the Morning Rush.
How you doing this morning, man? Thanks for having me.
Man, we're good. We're good. So let's start with Darius, because I know you've probably been asked since what happened Wednesday night. I mean, you had a heck of a freshman season, and by standards, the greatest ever. until what Darius has done this year. I wonder your thoughts. I know that he's point guard. You played shooting guard, but what have you seen from him this season and how he's been able to explode as just a youngster in the Southeastern Conference?
Well, man, I really like his poise and his demeanor on the floor. I think early in the year I was maybe looking for him to be a little bit more of a vocal leader, and I see that he does do some of that, but it's just kind of subtle. But just the way he goes about his business and performs at a high level. I mean, when you think about that 49-point performance, the only performance that I've ever witnessed of that magnitude was Todd Day at LSU when he had 43 against Shaq and those guys. And so when you think about the season he's having, I think it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, in Razorback history. And I wish he would have, did that in a win, but I think he's going to be able to lead us to a lot more wins moving forward.
Scotty, when you look at the game today and the dribble drive or the three, there's not much mid-range. Compare today's game and what we watch, how it's played to when you were out there 30 years ago. I mean, the game has changed so much in the offensive approach.
Well, I think it's changed from the standpoint of, a lot of teams don't pick up and press the way that we did. You don't see as much trapping with the exception of a team like A&M. Obviously, when teams get down and fall behind points, they try to press. So I think it's changed in that magnitude. You see a lot more half-court play. But then offensively, I think the game is a lot more open. There's no hand-checking involved, and so guys can get to their spots a little bit easier. And then I just think that the skill level of some of these guys, especially when you think about A-Cup, he's one of the few guys that you will see take some mid-range pull-ups. So I think his game is just kind of become what it is now, is where he can hit the three, he can get to the basket and shoot the runner, and then he also shoots pull-ups. And so his game is kind of multi-dimensional.
Ty asked about Darius Acuff. You've been around long enough to see some of the greats because Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, those guys came right before you that were great in the backcourt. You've watched them all from that point forward. Where would Acuff stack up with some of those great players and some of the great teams?
I mean, I think he'd be right up there. I mean, I think his offensive performance the other night showed you that he can do pretty much anything with the ball in his hands. He has had moments this year where he's had the opportunity to play off the ball, not a lot, but when he does that, he's effective as well. So I think he could fit in on any team. I think if he played with our team, with Coach Richardson, he probably wouldn't play 50 minutes in a game because we were a lot deeper, so it'd be a lot more guys kind of coming in and out. But what he can do offensively, I think, is incredible, so I think that fits in anywhere.
We're talking with Scotty Thurman here this morning, Razorback legend. You mentioned the minutes continuity. It's going to shift a little bit. I know you probably saw Carter's torn meniscus, that timetable, still waiting on that. But when the rotation shrinks nowadays, Scotty, how do players bond? How do they get better like they did at the end of last season? And how do you think that can maybe take shape here in the remainder of this year as well?
Well, I think, we had guys getting back. I think Trevon Brazile has, played more consistently, probably not as consistent as we want him to, but I think when you look at his numbers over the last, few matches, I think he's played pretty well. Not necessarily offensively, but he's affected the game from a defensive standpoint, blocking shots, rebounding at a high level, playing quite a few minutes. But I think these guys now, they work on so many different types of skill sets. Back when we played, you had to be able to dribble with your left, with your head up, pass off the dribble. But now guys are emulating pros a lot, and so they're working on, different things, double step backs and all these type things that, for us was considered dangerous because the coach would pull you out of the game for those type of things. But now I think guys are perfecting their craft because everybody's got a trainer now, so it's a little bit different in that aspect.
You coach high school athletes now. You're in charge of a program. What from Nolan Richardson and probably the toughest moments, tougher than boot camp, some of those practices you went through. What do you take from those lessons you learned 30-plus years ago that you employ every day now with your teams?
Well, one is, I'm not coaching at the moment. I stepped away from it. My daughter's playing volleyball there at the U of A, so we're following around, traveling, watching her. And then I've got 2 grandkids in Fayetteville because my son works at the university. So I stepped away from coaching. But when I was coaching, one of the things that, we implemented from when I played for coaches, we went at 6 a.m. every morning to practice. And I thought that was the craziest thing when I played in college. Like, why are we practicing at 6 a.m. when we won't have a game at that time? But what it taught me was that, you get up early, you get a lot more things done than if you start later in the day. And it kind of gets your day going. You've got a lot of things that you can get done, whether that be a workout, if you're a student, whether that be schoolwork, if you've got a job, whether that's preparing your day, for what the things you have to do at the job. And so from a preparation standpoint, that's one of the things. And then from the basketball standpoint, it's just effort, playing hard, playing unselfish, sharing the basketball, and then ultimately not being a me guy, being a we guy. And I think that's some of the biggest lessons that I learned.
Is that the hardest thing in today's world where it does seem to be more me? Everybody's caught up in their phones. Everybody's caught up in the distractions. When you were coaching at Little Rock Parkview, was that one of the harder things with this generation to maybe peel back?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult thing. I think a lot of guys, that's just kind of society now. Everything's quick. We call it the microwave society because they can get news and information quick on their phones. They can see another person's stats or whether it's offers or whatever it is that they're watching. And I think too many times, young people are running other people's race instead of running their own. And so that's kind of what I would tell my guys is like, every kid in high school is not going to play Division I basketball. That's okay. But the ones that are, obviously you got to be, in that above that 1%. But when you're not, it's okay to, go to college and get a degree and go on and be a productive citizen. And I think that's what's being lost now. There's so much pressure on young people to be, great athletes, but people don't value the other skills that they learn during athletics that they can apply to real life. And I think that's one of the things that's being lost.
National champion Scotty Thurman with us here on the Morning Rush. Scotty, current city head coach now, John Calipari, really values the relationship with your former head coach and Hall of Famer Coach Richardson. What has that meant to you to see that from afar or up close in person, how much that he respects and really wants Coach Richardson to be around in the program today in 2026?
Well, having that relationship with Coach and obviously as he gets older and as I get older myself, you just realize how special it was to have those moments. And, even if you took them for granted when you were 19 or 20, you definitely don't take them for granted right now because you realize that, it could be over at any minute, as you get older. And so, those relationships with my teammates, I continue to uphold and keep established so that they don't waste away. And then ultimately having that relationship with Coach who was the glue to it all is very important at this point in my life.
I know it's a consistent discussion around Razorback fans. Coach Richardson has a street named after him. Now the court's named after him. Is that enough? Does he need a statue outside of Bud Walton Arena as a former player and a guy that went all the way with Coach? Where do you stand in that regard, Scotty?
I think there could be more done. Not just for Coach. I know there have been people talking about the statue. I think that's something that may need to happen. But in light of what's taking place with NIL, and I think those funds are probably being appropriated in another area. But in terms of like commemorating jerseys and that type of thing, I think it's important that some of the former players at Todd Days, the Ronnie Brewer seniors, maybe even Ronnie Brewer juniors, Joe Johnson guys that, had great careers there, be held up in the rafters. Obviously, you can't retire the jersey because there's only a few, but I think you can commemorate more guys. Lee Mayberry, I think that's Darrell Walker. There's a lot of guys that need to be recognized, and I think that helps with donors. They feel connected to the program because now so many guys are leaving early or transferring, and so there's really no real connection long term. And then I think, from a familiarity, it helps, from the fundraising aspect. And then when you think about a young man walking in your gym and looking up to the rafters and seeing a jersey, if he's gone to a school that's got several, and then he comes to Arkansas and there's only two, does he think he has an opportunity for his name to be up there, given the fact that that's one of his goals? And so I think it definitely needs to be talked about and discussed and then hopefully implemented.
Yeah, Michael Irvin, Dallas Cowboy, had a great quote. He's like, I don't want my jersey retired. I want someone to wear it. So when he joked about Dez or CD dropping a ball, it's like Michael Irvin would have caught that. Do you take pride when you see a Razorback basketball player number 30 today?
I do. When I see Isaiah Seeley in it, knowing him from high school somewhat and watching him play, you kind of pull for him a little bit more because you're like he's wearing your jersey. And so there's definitely a certain connectivity to it in terms of that. And no different than when I walked in the gym when I was in college and I saw Sidney Moncrief's jersey up there. I mean, it was like, hey, if I play well enough, that'll be me one day. And now, we've got Corliss up there, but, Corliss was great. There's no question about it. Sidney was great, but neither one of those guys did it all by themselves. There were other great players that came through, and I think a lot of those guys would like the recognition, not only for their families, but, just to feel appreciated. And then at the end of the day, you also got certain fans that may connect with the Darrell Walker, may connect with Lee Mayberry, may connect with Todd Day, and I think it would help from a giving standpoint as well.
Scotty, a lot of people have had their thoughts, and I'm sure you've been asked a lot about your decision to leave when you left to enter the draft. But now with NIL, you bring that up. Players have a difficult decision. Do I come back for guaranteed money and a spot on this roster, or do I go and try to pursue the dream of an NBA career? What advice would you lend to someone who's been there, had to make that decision, but didn't make it under the terms of today's game, where you had that NIL money to come back to? How would you approach that if it was your son or your daughter in this situation playing volleyball with today's world?
Well, I mean, when you think about the types of money that these young people are getting, I mean, why would you leave? I mean, if somebody's going to pay you, $500,000, $800,000, or whatever that number is while you're in school, I mean, even if it's $100,000 and you're in college and people forget you're still on scholarship, your school is still free, your books is free, your meals are free, your living are free because your scholarship covers all of that. You still get cost of attendance. God forbid if you're a kid that, comes from, humble beginnings, you get a Pell Grant. So you're getting all this money. Why would you have to leave? Because ultimately, when you're leaving to hopefully make a better life for yourself. So if you're not going to be a first-round pick or a lottery pick, there's no rush. I mean, if a guy can make $500,000 for 4 years, I mean, after taxes, you figure you've got a pretty good savings. And once you go out and get a job in the real world, you can have a very productive life because you've kind of got a head started. So, for me, if it was my kid that was making that type of money, unless they were a lottery pick in basketball, I don't think we would go anywhere. Obviously, each case is different, but I just kind of find it hard to believe that there's a need to leave when you're already been compensated very well. And if it was me in today's climate, if someone was giving me $500,000 in 95, I don't know that I leave because there wouldn't have been a reason to.
Yeah. You ever think back on that moment, or any regrets about the decision you made 30 years ago?
Man, at 51, I mean, I've had a lot of things happen in my life, and that's not at the top of my thought process in terms of how I view, moving forward. Of course, at that time, being 20, it had a very negative impact on me. But, once I got through the articles and the propaganda that was being shared, the lack of information that was being shared, once I got past that, it really just made me a stronger person and a better businessman and a better family man. And so, man, I really don't think about it.
Yeah.
Unless someone asks me, I don't have any conversations about it. But to be able to speak on it at 51, that's not something that keeps me up at night. You know what I mean?
So what about that and that decision that someone in our audience wouldn't know, that they just see the fact that you left and it didn't go the way you'd planned? What do they not know behind the scenes, and what led to all of that decision?
Well, they don't know the information that was shared with me from NBA executives. They don't really know the conversation that was had between myself and Coach Richardson at that time. They don't understand maybe that, I was a 20-year-old father, and, I didn't come from the beginnings of being able to pick up the phone and call home and ask for things. And so for me, it was a situation of, I was a good student, so I didn't struggle in school, thankfully. But it was a decision for me to think about how I'm going to take care of my family, and knowing that I couldn't just pick up the phone and call my parents and say, hey, I need this or I need that. It was a situation where it's like, okay, you've got an opportunity to go out with the information you received and maybe be a first-round pick. Why not, if you can take care of your family and give yourself a head start in life? And so, the thing, it didn't work out the way that I planned, but I mean, there's several other people, I'm sure, just in life, not basketball players, that have had things that they thought would go a certain direction and it didn't. And, it didn't necessarily terminate, their life lesson per se. It just kind of gave them an opportunity to focus on other things and do something else. And so, I was fortunate enough to be able to go and play after that for many years and, travel across the world playing basketball, something that, not very many people get an opportunity to do. And so when I look in the mirror every day, I'm pretty happy with, the way I was able to weather the storm. And obviously I had a lot of people in my life that were very impactful in terms of helping me through that time. But, I don't really drive, in my life. I look at the rearview mirror very seldom. I'm more of a front windshield guy.
Well, let's talk about that front windshield. You mentioned being a father. You mentioned your son a little while ago, Scotty Thurman Jr., and I know he was in Birmingham at the SEC office, and now he's back in Fayetteville. What's he doing up on the hill, Scotty?
Man, he's working for the University of Arkansas. He works in compliance, and so he is, made his parents very proud because he's got his degree from there. He's got his master's degree. He was able to go work for the NCAA and the SEC office. And so being able to come back home and, where he graduated high school from Fayetteville High School. And so, that's another reason that I stepped away from the coaching because I got two grandboys that are 10 and 6. And so I get the opportunity to go and hang out with them and spend a lot of time while we watch my daughter play or not. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of hard for me to keep coaching and knowing that here it is, I'm going to walk into the team huddle and put my hands up and say, hey, guys, go to class. Make sure you hit the weights. Make sure you do this. And I'm running to go get on the plane every time. And so, I didn't think that would be fair to the kids or to the coaches that I work with. And so it was just time for me to make somewhat of a selfish decision, but it was family-based.
Well, I think people understand. And you also mentioned your daughter playing volleyball. Started in Chapel Hill, now back here in Fayetteville. And she was a senior, right? I'm not misremembering that, right?
Yes, she's a senior.
Well, have you turned into a full-blown volleyball dad, screaming and yelling?
Man, I don't really do the screaming and yelling. I just kind of cheer for all the girls and want to see them do well. Last season was a tough season for us, but we're looking forward to having a really good season this year. And so, I'm just supportive, man. Of course, I will, make certain comments to her when we, get home. But fortunately for us, nobody in my family played volleyball, and so we don't have to worry about trying to coach the game. For us, it's more about being there for support and just letting her know that, we've got her back, and not just her, but, her teammates as well. And so it's just a beautiful thing to be able to sit in the stands, watch a game. I don't have the pressure of me of making substitutions. I don't have the pressure of drawing up a play. I just get the opportunity to support my kid and her teammates. And so we make every game. In Carolina, I think I made 18 out of the 30. At Arkansas, I made every one, and so that won't change this year.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. And you can coach them them grandsons, right?
Well, I don't know if they're going to be athletes or not. Right now, we're trying to raise a doctor, and we don't know what the 6-year-old's going to be, but the 10-year-old says he wants to be a doctor. So right now, we're focused on math and science.
Well, I think you got some help with that doctoring part, right? So,
yeah, I got a little help.
Yeah, you chose well there. Scotty, great to talk with you. Great to catch up. Fun conversation, and let's do it again soon.
Yes, sir, man. I look forward to it, man. You guys have a great weekend.
All right, one of the all-time greats at the University of Arkansas, Scotty Thurman, with us here on the Morning Rush. Our visit this morning with Scotty is brought to you by Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. Take control of your health and get a comprehensive review of your health with the folks at Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. They'll custom design a weight loss program for you, peptide therapy like Simorlin, glutathione, and NAD+, BHRT to help you feel more balanced, energized, and back in rhythm. So if your energy's off, if your weight's a little high, and you don't know where to begin, Vici Aesthetics and Wellness has been the partners that have helped me feel better, look better, and feel like I've got control of what's going on with my health to at least some degree. 479-343-8424 is the number. 479-343-8424. Call and mention you heard it on the Morning Rush. Get 10% off your treatments when you call Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. 479-343-8424 or ViciAestheticsandWellness.com. That's VICI, Vici Aesthetics and Wellness.com.
Got our SEC update coming up. That's a great interview with Scotty Thurman. If you missed it, it will be in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Some games to keep an eye on this weekend in the Southeastern Conference. We'll share this with you next.
Fast Break Friday brought to you by QC Kinetix in Bentonville. Get back to living your life.
Steal by the Razorbacks, knocks to the
Tommy
other
Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Once people tried Taco Bell's new Lux value menu with 10 decadent items, all $3 or less, including the new mini taco salad, an edible bowl filled with succulent seasoned beef and dressed with a lavish chipotle crema, they started expecting everything to be as Lux. You're wondering which is the mini taco salad for, aren't you? Taco Bell's new Lux value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort. Well, the game might be over, but the night usually isn't. You're still hanging out, still scrolling, still looking for something fun to do. That's usually where I end up on my bookie. I'll go from sports straight into the casino. Same account, same balance. What I like is it never feels quiet. There's always something happening. Cash drops, tournaments, live dealers. So you're not just playing, you're part of the action. Head to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS, and you'll get a 300% deposit match up to $750, which gives you plenty to play with. Game night, late night, everything in between. MyBookie's always on.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
We've seen it all. Recessions, tornadoes, even a global pandemic. But Hug Chevrolet GMC never closed its doors. We stuck with our community because they stuck with us. And through it all, one thing never changed. Our commitment to serve, support, and stay local. Hug Chevrolet GMC, built to last, just like the people we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally it's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas. Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Do you have any updates on Carter and Isaiah?
I'm going to wait till we get back. Let me get back and find out. I don't want to say something that's not truly accurate.
So we did get an update on Carter Knox. He underwent a successful procedure on his left meniscus. No timetable on his return. Don't know about Isaiah Sealy, who we heard from Scotty Thurman takes pride in seeing number 30 being worn by Isaiah. SEC availability report will be out tonight. Carter's going to wind up out. Curious to see where Isaiah is on that slot, especially heading into this game tomorrow. You'd like to get some guys back, and hopefully at least one back in Isaiah Sealy.
Yeah, and when you look at kind of where you're at with depth, I don't know when you're going to get Carter Knox back. My first thought was, does this mean he's back for another year? I don't know that absolutely means that, and I don't think he's absolutely lost for the season either. But I would say maybe the regular season, maybe even the SEC tournament, I wouldn't count on seeing Carter Knox out on the floor. I think possibly the NCAA tournament might be the next time you get to see him play any significant minutes at least.
This is just from AI, but it says 4 to 6 weeks on.
Well, that's for the average person. That's for me and you. That's not for people that have round-the-clock teams of trainers and medical staff to get you rehabbed and back. But, Lindsey Vonn tore her ACL and raced, she broke her leg when she did it, but yeah. Lindsey Vonn raced in the Olympics 9 days after a torn ACL. Wow. So now I'm not suggesting that's what's going to happen with him, but I'm just saying they have a different level of rehab and care that we're accustomed to.
I would be shocked if we saw him before the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. I'm not wishing. I'd hope we see him back. Carter's important to this team. I know he hadn't had the season his sophomore year he wanted, but you just need him for floor spacing. Outside of Malik and Darius, you don't really have a team that can shoot. DJ hadn't been able to shoot, unfortunately. Trevin has gone downhill, at least from the three-point line. He's improved other areas, but he's not shooting the ball well, particularly. You don't have anyone besides Darius and Malik that can shoot the long ball. Billy's not good from the three-point line, and so they're going to pack it in on Darius and whoever else. That's why I think Carter Knox is his timetable. Hopefully it's sooner than later, getting him back. All right, SEC basketball this weekend. Biggest game, probably Tennessee against Vanderbilt. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Arkansas, of course, plays Missouri tomorrow at 3. Florida at Ole Miss. Really surprised Auburn is a favorite at home against Kentucky. They've lost 5 straight. You'd love to see the Tigers take down the Wildcats and give you some breathing room when it comes to Kentucky being right there behind you.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see when we look up a week from now, headed into next Saturday, kind of what the league standings look like, because it's a jumbled mess right now with 4 and 5 lost teams, and it's why I say this is a must-win tomorrow. Missouri's amongst those teams. They're looking to win and climb into the conversation with the win over the Razorbacks in the double-bye conversation. It's not the end of the world if you end up 5th or 6th in this league, but if you want to have the kind of seed this team's capable of in the NCAA tournament, you need to be one of those top 4.
Yeah, and I think for the Razorbacks down the stretch, I mean, I was thinking 4-2 prior to Alabama. They lost that game. I'm thinking 1 loss, and that's just that's to Florida next Saturday. I mean, I think they can win. I think they're going to win tomorrow. I mean, there's a reason they're a 10-point favorite. I think they can beat A&M and Texas at home. I think they can beat Missouri on the road. That's going to be the toughest road test outside, of course, going to Gainesville.
Can't lose a home game, though.
Yeah, I think they really do need to win those down the stretch.
You got 3 home games left starting tomorrow. You got to win them all. And you got to avoid 0-2 weeks, and that's why tomorrow, to me, is a must-win. All right, that's the SEC Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Valley Urgent Dental. Hey, your dental emergency doesn't wait, so neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're there for you on the weekends when you need them the most, whether it's a broken tooth, painful infection, or a crown that's come off. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are always ready to help. So why wait till Monday when your regular dentist might or might not be there? Call 479-235-5655 this weekend if you need a dentist. That's 235-5655. Valley Urgent Dental. They're at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental. Emergency dental care when you need it most.
You were asking about Kahio Aloy earlier this week. Dave Van Horn shared this tidbit with the media yesterday.
He's a lot better. He went full go in practice yesterday, and I feel like by tomorrow he should be 90% at a minimum. He wanted to play on Monday. We had him doing a lot of stuff in the hotel and treatment, and that's why I got him out of there so quick, is that I didn't want this to be a month-long thing if he hurt it again trying to outrun something. And it seems like he's doing well because he was running about 70% pretty good on Monday. So it's gotten better. And we'll look at it again today, big time, and see what we think. But I feel like he'll be ready to go.
I had some positive signs heading into this weekend against the Xavier Musketeers. 3 o'clock first pitch, 2:30, Phil and Bubba on most of these stations. Same pitching rotation as last weekend. Gackle, Dietz, and then Colin Fisher. We'll see who fills in the innings between those guys. But you liked what you saw last week. You take 2 of 1. I think it was irritating for DVH to see 45. Big C, was it 45 guys left on base? 45, 46. But you only had 1 loss.
Yeah.
It was by 1 run. So you can't be that mad about your first weekend's performance heading into your home series opener against Xavier.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend against Xavier. Then just a reminder, Tuesday and Wednesday, Arkansas State in Fayetteville for a pair of midweek games ahead of Texas Arlington next weekend. So if you can't make it to the ballpark this weekend, you got a chance on Tuesday and Wednesday. Both of those are afternoon games against A-State. So be sure and do that.
PSA, if you see an animal on the field like an armadillo, stay away. Dave Van Horn giving Cam Kojal a little hard time about that.
So I didn't find out about it till yesterday. Maybe that's when the video came out. I called him last night on the way driving home because that's when I got word about it. And I just called him and I said, hey, when did you do this armadillo thing? And he said, it was last week. And I said, well, okay. And you didn't get bit or scratched or anything? He said, no. And I said, those things can give you leprosy. We have a good relationship. He goes, like leprosy, like in the Bible? I said, yeah, like in the Bible. I said, oh, no. And I said, don't be messing with those things. They're nasty. And I think I scared him a little bit. But yeah, my wife actually called me and said, I saw a video of Cam with one of those nasty animals that mostly hang out in Texas. And I said, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But anyway, it was kind of funny. Thank goodness he didn't get bit, scratched. Yeah, they're dangerous. Stay away from them.
Stay away.
Cam needs to go to the Armadillo Festival in Hamburg.
Is that true?
Like
you can get
like
leprosy? Or is he just scared him?
I don't know. He smiled when he said it. DVH did. So I didn't do the research on the authenticity of that statement, but that was a little jarring when I heard him say it yesterday.
I mean, you're going full biblical, Old Testament, leprosy. Ooh. So, I'll stay away from the armadillos. I mean, there's not much wildlife out there you need to mess with.
Well, like, what's the you when you look at situations, you look at the pro and you look at the con, and I guess in Cam's mind, it's like, okay, this can be a funny video. I can be entertained, blah blah blah.
You're right. What is doing it for the social media cred?
And he's got his hunting and fishing channel, so there's probably some elements of that. But then you have to balance that with the cons. And at the time, he probably wasn't thinking about whether it was leprosy or anything else that could have happened to him. Luckily, nothing did, but that's what you have to balance in today's day and age.
I'm curious to know what Clay's thoughts are. about the armadillo and camp.
Clay's an outdoor guy, so he'll
Give us.
You think he would have encouraged
he
it?
probably encouraged it. But I would, if I was going to mess with an armadillo, I'd have at least at a minimum of 410, and maybe something a little stronger than that with me.
That doesn't seem like something that I would be a fan of. I'll watch. I'll sit there and video. I'll do that, but I'm not necessarily going to be the one participating with something like that.
Hey, a week from today, we'll do the Morning Rush live from Arkansas Children's Northwest in Springdale. It's going to be their Champions for Children Give-a-thon. We need your help right now. Go to hitthatline.com, click on the Give-a-thon link, and make a donation to Arkansas Children's Northwest. Our coverage next week is presented by the Limbird Real Estate Team. If you've ever thought about buying or selling your home, go to limbirdteam.com. Also, big thanks to Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling and River City Coatings in Van Buren. The Give-a-thon link is at hitthatline.com. Choose your favorite show. We hope it's ours, but if it's not, that's okay. All the money goes to Arkansas Children's Northwest for their Champions for Children Give-a-thon. It's next Friday, but you can give today. Hitthatline.com, the Give-a-thon link for your favorite show, and donate today. All the money goes to the Arkansas Children's Hospital in Northwest Arkansas.
Speaking of animals, I meant to ask this question yesterday, but we didn't. We ran out of time on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. So I was coming back from Little Rock on Wednesday, and as I'm driving by, you know how there's like a truck and then the trailer or the bed is completely flat, like there's no gate, not gates, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
where the truck is.
The work truck.
Yeah, work truck.
Half ton, usually they call it. I mean, it's a different word, but I was talking about it.
but-
Welders have them usually. They're farm trailers, usually used for pulling gooseneck trailers.
And this kind of startled me a little bit. Initially, I thought it was a statue, but some guy had his dog on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal? There's no
I don't look
guardrails
normal.
or anything, and this dog was just kind of sitting there, very, very calm. Of course, as a human, I would be freaking out knowing if one bump, I could send me flying onto the pavement. But not that I'm like call Pete on this guy, but I just thought that was a little.
Oh, you're the call
I thought
Pete
that was
guy,
a little excessive to have your dog, your friend, your companion in a place that he's basically a sitting duck. If
I
anything
bet
happened.
that dog has ridden many a mile on that flatbed.
I guess, but I initially, again, I didn't think it was real, but sure enough, it was, and it kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, Karen,
Ryan says
Karen, that dog will be just
Ryan,
fine.
listen, I didn't call anyone. I didn't say anything. I just
Okay,
wanted to
Karen.
know if my thought on this was right or not. Ryan says, yes, having your dog on the flatbed is normal.
Yeah. Particularly if you're a rancher or farmer. I mean,
My dog jumped off a balcony before, so.
That's what
but not at 80 miles an hour.
that would be my other thought. It's like, what if the dog just decides he wants to get off the truck and, as you said, 80
he'll only
miles
do
an
it
hour,
once.
break his leg. Jeez,
Well, that'd be the
Louise.
least of his problems.
Like, he'd get run over. I mean, that's why I guess this is why you occasionally
Kersplat.
see an animal. Ugh. If I ever do get a
Why
puppy,
didn't you pull that guy over and give him a piece of your mind?
Because I'm not that type of guy that's confrontational. I just.
No, you just talk about him on the radio after the fact.
Obviously, you don't care about animals. You don't care about companions or friends, and you own dogs. That's just surprising to me, but I'm a little disappointed.
Well, the dog's
in
got to
that
be
response.
smart enough to, stay put. You gave the dog an order. Stay on this flatbed. Do it.
That's just a terrible philosophy in this situation.
Do it.
I am ashamed to be sitting here with you right now.
I can leave.
I cannot. I cannot.
You want me to
believe-
excuse myself
No, I
for
cannot
the
believe you-
last 18 minutes of the show?
I cannot believe you.
Be
did
glad
that.
to. So
Scott says my flat doesn't move without my dog on it. Try keeping him off. Maybe this is a bigger thing.
Yeah.
That's just the first time I've ever seen in
well,
31 years of my life.
You're a city slicker. You don't understand these
I've driven
rural
on the
ways of
interstate my
life.
entire life.
You know.
What do you mean I'm a city?
City slicker.
It has nothing to do with being a city or a country boy or not. It's just that was the first time I'd ever seen it yesterday.
Mm.
Leonard says if the owner isn't smart enough, let's hope the dog is.
People ride in the flatbeds.
Ryan says if he jumps off, you didn't need him anyway.
Have you ever not ridden down the highway in the back of a truck?
Yes, but with the guard, or whatever you want to call them, the guardrails. So even if we hit a bump or something, I can hold on to something. And the bed shut. That's normal. Not on a flatbed. That's
I think
just
it's actually
nuts.
against the law for a human being to ride in the back
It is, but
of a truck bed.
when you have a certain amount of people that are trying to get from point A to point B, it's going to be. I mean, it happens all the time in Fayetteville. It's a way of life in the South, and I know it's technically illegal, but people have done it anyway and still continue to do it.
Well, I bet that dog has plenty of experience riding on that flatbed.
He looked as casual as can be. I was scared for him.
Well, the world needs more Karens, I guess.
I'm not being a Karen. I didn't stop him. There's no video of me yelling.
You didn't
at the
shake your
guy.
finger?
No.
You didn't go by and
again.
You bad person, you.
Yes, I guess it's a thing. It won't be a thing with my dog. My dog is going to
Well, you're never going to have a flatbed truck.
Care. I don't know if I'll have a truck at some point, but my dog, you won't have to worry about one little hiccup on the road and poof, he's gone. Because I would never do that.
Hey, one place you might see your favorite animal riding on the back of a flatbed. It might be on your way to a great place like Gaston's White River Resort. People working cattle and people are, it's just a country way of living because it's one of the most beautiful parts of our state on the White River. And at Gaston's, they can help you through all of it. 870-431-5202, 80 private cabins and lodges. Always there to make sure you have a great time at Gaston's. And one of their experienced guides will show you a wonderful time on the White River, the best trout fishing in North America. And that's a fact. You won't find better trout fishing anywhere than you'll find on the White River and on the banks of Gaston's White River Resort. Ask about winter rates when you call today, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
It's Fastbreak Friday on the Morning Rush, brought to you by QC Kinetix. Get real lasting relief from chronic joint pain.
Ahead to Billy Richmond for a one-hand slam.
Actually, Hottie Toddy doesn't have any history. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less. As their official Lutzierge, I get a lot of questions about it from people who let the Lutz go to their heads. Like the ones who get the new mini taco salad in its crispy tortilla shell bowl and want to know if they should be eating it with a mini taco salad fork. Which, no. Just use the fork that comes in the bag. Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's new $3 or less Lutz Value menu today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price of participation vary. Tax extra.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders presents the Home Show 2026, coming to the Fort Smith Convention Center February 20th through 22nd. Discover the latest in home ideas with live demonstrations, exciting giveaways, and something for everyone. Bring the kids for a bounce house area, a hands-on kids workshop, a Lego building contest, and see the Guinness Book of World Records largest brick. Don't miss the Home Show 2026. Fun, family, and inspiration all under one roof. FortSmithHomebuilders.com.
Cold weather is tough on equipment. Frozen lines, slow hydraulics, unexpected breakdowns. Winter downtime costs money, but Sharp Equipment keeps your job moving. Get the equipment you need when you need it. Heavy equipment rentals, reliable repairs, and custom hydraulic hoses built fast. From on-site repairs to fast turn hoses and dependable rentals, we keep your projects moving no matter the temperature. Visit 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren or call 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, we help you move more than just the world. We keep you moving forward.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Do you need closure? on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
I like your
Hey, River Valley, let's hop into a time machine and go way back. It's Throwback Night at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison in downtown Fort Smith this Saturday night, February 21st. They'll be spinning all the chart-topping hits from 2016 and keeping your thirst quenched with $15 buckets and tons of drink specials. Come relive the fun this Saturday for Throwback Night, only at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria in downtown Fort Smith. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and back-to-back comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And to me, it looks like it's going to be a two-horse race. Well, I do think we're going to have some longer odds today. Yeah, the best bet today.
Lang Whitman on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration, serving Arkansas since 1987. Call 479-353-3877 to get a free estimate and schedule your inspection today.
Will be a little bit cooler start at the track today, but going to shape up for a nice 3-day weekend of racing. Our racing update at Oaklawn is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Lane Whitman joins us now. Had a 4-day week that ended on Monday with President's Day, laying a kind of a normal 3-day weekend with 3 days of racing, 29 races on tap for a first post time today that's coming up here in just a few hours.
Yeah, 12:30 first post for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday racing. 10 races today, 10 races Saturday, 9 races on Sunday. Temps going to be in the 50s and 60s. No rain on the docket for this weekend, so it should be a great weekend at the track.
I noticed there were stakes races on a Friday. That is not normal at Oaklawn.
No, but there's a stakes race Friday. There's a stakes race Saturday, not one on Sunday this week. The stakes race today is called the Down the Dusty Road Stakes. It's a 6-furlong race for fillies and mares, $150,000, Arkansas-bred horses, and this is a unique event happening at Oaklawn today, featuring Holland Ice. It's going to be the big favorite. She is the richest Arkansas-bred horse in history, has earned $998,000, poised to go over the $1 million mark today. Broke the record last summer by a horse named No Double, set back in 1970 when he earned $860,000 in his career. So this will be the first time in 56 years you can see the richest Arkansas-bred horse race at Oaklawn Park live in person.
And you have recapped both of these stakes races in our podcast that people can find at hitthatline.com under our podcast network in the horse right here with you and Scott Blair. So if you want more in-depth coverage on that, you can do that there. All right, real quick, best bet today on a Friday to start the weekend.
Yeah, we are looking at race 4 today. Horse number 1, Lunar Module, 5-2 on the morning line. Norm Cassie trained this 6-year-old. Only has 4 wins and 27 career starts, but loves racing at Oaklawn. 4 times raced at Oaklawn, all 4 times in the exacta. Has raced the distance of 6 furlongs that they're racing today, 10 times in his career, 8 times in the money. He's also second by a neck in his last race on December 19th. I'm looking for a top effort for him today. You add in that jockey Luis Saez, who rides today. When he rides for trainer Norm Cassie, good things happen. They win together at over a 35% clip when they team up. So my best bet today, horse number 1, race number 4, Lunar Module, looking to get the money, maybe pay about $7 or $8.
All right, if you want all the racing tips, you can get those from Lang at the Railbird 333 on all the social media platforms. Lang, we'll talk to you next Friday.
Sounds good, Tommy. Thanks for having me on.
All right, our update from Oakland is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration, 479-353-3877. If you want the pros to put your roof on, you want Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Properly licensed and insured. You don't have to worry about anything there. Brother Alexander has over 27 years of experience in the roofing industry as an insurance adjuster and a roofer. Now he can take care of your roofing needs. 479-353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
All right,
it's been a Fast Break Friday. It's been brought to you by QC Kinetix. 479-999-1234 is their number. They're right here in Northwest Arkansas. They can relieve your pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetix, 999-1234.
Bud Light Morning Rush podcast coming up. Scotty Thurman's going to be a part of that next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C, halftime, leading you in to Arkansas baseball.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479